What's happening? How everybody doing out there? What's good? Want to bring another video of some sustainable projects, some sustainable objectives you can have in your own household. Right now, I'm in my living room, and I got a section cornered off here where I do my aquaponics, hydroponics, growing vegetables and fruits. So that's what we go. I'm just gonna show you a little bit that you could do for yourself. We also could explain a little bit more in depth on another time. But right now we just gonna go over the basics of what you can do to have a sustainable garden and vegetables and fruits all year round. So the system has been operating for maybe a month now. I just reinstalled it and got everything up to standard of what I think would be good for the household and for others. So this is what it looks like here. I start off with this unit right here. This unit is a humidity dome. As you can see, it has a lot of humidity in there, which allows for seeds to grow at a good rate. So I forget the name that they say when seeds populate, but as you see there, we have a little bit of growth, and that's been in there maybe like 3 to 4 days. That long plant you see is a moringa plant, which is my go-to vitamin. So I have quite a bit of those growing, and those will actually be up on the website with planters soon. So you'll get one of those in a planter. But that's something completely different. But just wanted to let you know that's how I start pretty much all my seeds there. You got your air circulation. You want to have that at a certain rate. Also, you have a heat mat here to keep the temperature correct. Okay, what you see here against the wall is a vertical planting situation, which you can put on any wall in your household. You have chains and things of that nature to connect your lights, which are purple, blue UV lights, and it's supposed to give the impression of the sun without burning your plants out. So it's a very good, say, trick to the plants and to keep my optimal growth. This is, you could call it an organic way of growing, exception of the vitamin D that we all know you should have and love from the sun. But at all stages, sometimes you cannot utilize the sun, and this is a way you could do it organically. Everything here, no chemicals involved whatsoever. Everything is from seed to full growth, which you will see like this plant here is blossoming real well. That is, I believe, a squash or zucchini or something like that, and that's growing real well. Down here, let me turn that on later. So that's your vertical system. Down here you have a bucket system, right? And we will be in the future, near future, putting systems like this together. So that'll be on a later connection. If you want to know how to put these type of systems together without buying them from a commercial venue, then we'll be definitely involved with that, since we know how the systems work now. Inside of this tank is your reservoir tank, and we have goldfish in ours. Goldfish, their environment helps nutrient the plants. So that way you're not putting chemicals in your plants. You're actually using what the creation has given us, which is how can you say that? Not really fertilization, but say fertilization from a fish. And we have one supplement that we feed the water and the plants, which is a kelp-based organic solution. Sea moss is a lot talked about. That is also something that you're going to feed your water and your plants with, so that we can stay completely organic. So this is phase 1, and what I will do is I will just give you a small example. The system here. This is a drip system, so as you can see, the water starts dripping in. You want to do this as your plants need it. You don't want to overwater. You don't want to underwater. Modify that one. Coming out over right now. There you have it. So that's how those systems work there. I already watered them, so I'm not going to overwater them. That's a whole nother thing that you'll have to go over another time. But I'm going to go and show you how this is hooked up. This has a water connection here, which is hooked up to our water supply, which is where the washer and dryer is. So you can stay here and I'll get that real quick. Turn your water on there. And in the other video with the water, and you see that water starts flowing down through the system. On the water video, if you didn't have a water connection, then we would be able to hook your pump up, which is another video, and your pump will then supply the water you need for your plants. And you see we have electrical there. We say, so what if you don't have electrical in your house or you're doing this outside? We have a backup generator, which we'll put on another video. Just in case we don't have that power, you still could operate your system with a backup generator. So that's the system of part 1. And what I'm going to do is take you to the outside unit, how can you say that, stage. Because this could be your first stage. You might not want to grow everything indoors. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go outside. And I'm going to show you how I transfer some of these plants here to the outside. All right, so we outside now. And I just take you from inside to outside to this. This could be your stage 2. If you don't want to grow everything indoors, you can do some outdoors and start everything inside, which is an easier process. You can control the environment. So now we outside with Mother Nature. It takes, its course, and this is what you'll have here. Most of these plants here, we start inside of the house. And we bring them outside to where now you just water them and let the sunlight, the vitamin D, do what it does. You got various vegetables. You got lettuces, tomatoes. You got okras. You got herbs. You got spinach. You got cucumber. You got whatever you pretty much need to have food year round. Over in this bucket here, you got carrots, and you have celery over here, And I put this out in the front yard because it's kind of an initiative I've been doing probably over 10 years of trying to have every household, have have a little garden, and you can kind of like border and trade, and you know, y'all help each other out with y'all food. So I put this one in the front. I got one inside, got one in the backyard as well. So that's just something I just wanted to let you know. This was an initiative for a neighborhood or a community. Everybody plant a garden, front or backyard. I just wanted to have this one on display. But over here you got a couple fruit trees. You got a prune, no that ain't a prune. Yeah, prune, and then you got blueberry. You know, everybody plant a tree in their front yard. You know, when I was growing up, we was able to go down the street and get some fruits out of yards, you know, on a regular basis. So that's kind of what we doing here at my house. It's just making sure we keeping the culture right. That's about it right here. So now we back here in the backyard. I mean, as you can see, like I'll just have a regular house. I mean, you don't need a bunch of land. It'd be nice to have a lot of acres and a bunch of land, and everybody have a sub parcel, or everybody's come together and do it, which is going on a lot. You know, here and there, I've seen it. I'm just giving you an example of what you can do in your own household and be independent. So I showed you the indoor and the front yard, which that should catch on one of these good days. But for right now, we're gonna just focus on what we got going on. And this is the backyard. What you have here is a piece of backyard which I plowed and turned, because the chicken coop, which we have, you know, some chickens, was here at first. So what chickens do is they make their own fertilizer and their own, people call it manure, but just say fertilizer, which is very nutrient for the soil. So what I did was turn it, you know, and then I moved the chicken coop to a different section, which is a little further away from this area. And what I did was I turned it, and then I made holes, and I put soil in the holes, and then I planted seeds there. So after a while, we'll come back with another video, and I'll show you what this is gonna look like. You know, this is what we have. We have some melons, we have some watermelons, we have some cucumbers and onions here. So I wanted to grow stuff that was just a little bit bigger, you know, stuff that could grow a little higher, and so that's another stage from indoor to outdoor after you wanted to do that route, you know, and have food year round. So that's probably gonna conclude our, you know, our hydroponics growing situation, sustainable, that any family, any household can have this. This is not nothing, you know, out of space, you know, out of your mind, out of any ordinary person thinking, you know. And if you do this and it gets multiplied, then you will find yourself being totally self-sufficient as far as, I mean, food that you actually need, you know. So that's gonna wrap that up, and